I know a lot of y'all been saying why if they didn't have Aubrey as being a witness or whatever during this whole Diddy court case and all that, because she being the most spoken about all of this. But at the same time, y'all gotta understand the reason why they asked Dunn was the one that was asked to testify and not Aubrey is due to the fact that Aubrey wasn't really there around the time that Cassie came. Cause around the time when Cassie came along, then by the time that Cassie came along, Danny the Kane pretty much done broke up. So she was no longer really affiliated with Diddy. So she didn't personally witness a lot of the stuff that went on with Cassidy, and they using the whole situation with Cassidy to help build this Rico case against Diddy, which is actually the reason why. And I know that in the first season of Making a Bean, they were trying to make Aubrey to be like this bad person because when she got an opportunity to do, I think it was the what was it, her show or something. I can't think of the name of the movie, but that her movie thing, that hairspray, yeah, hairspray. And then she started her t-shirt line, Hearts on My Sleeve, and they were trying, and she posed for some magazine, and they were trying to give her the bad heap and make it like she was the bad guy because she was doing things outside the group. But the reason why she was doing things outside the group, because it was like, we were hearing whispers about how allegedly Dunn was trying to get a solo deal. Diddy was allegedly going to give Dunn her own solo deal, or they was working together on a duo projects or something like that. And at this point, she was like, "We not currently touring, we not currently recording, we not making any new music. Yeah, I got a little bit of money, but I'm not a millionaire. We not making the type of money y'all think we making. So I got a little bit of money where I'm gonna be good for a little bit, but not enough to live on for the rest of my life. And since I don't know where things stand up with my group, I got to go out here and get this money in the way that I can." And so that's the reason why she did it. But the thing about it is, I never really liked it done from the start. D Woods and RP always been my favorite because something about Dunn always rubbed me the wrong way. That she always came off as this type that's willing to do almost anything just to get to the top, anything just to get a little bit of fame, anything just to get to the bag, just to the point where I just never really truly cared for her. For instance, Danny Kane had found a loophole, a way to get the group back together to record music without being sued. You know how, Escape came back and they called themselves Escape 3 when they released the album without Kenny. Well, Danny Kane used the same thing, called himself DK3, so legally they won't get sued by Diddy from using the Danny Kane name. And then when Dunn's solo career didn't go as well as he expected it and didn't do as good as he expected it did good in like the dance electronic alternative market, but when he didn't do the numbers that Danny Kane albums did, when it didn't come to hits that them Danny Kane songs did, and the opportunity came to do it, she saw it. She was down with it. But then when they started touring, or when they started doing the shows, and she realized that Danny Kane wasn't gonna make the money that she became accustomed to making with with Danny Kane when they was with Bad Boys, then all of a sudden she wanted to go back to Diddy. But texting Diddy asking her to come back, cause she come back when she heard that they were gonna do another season of Making the Band, which was the final season, which went on to become the final season of Making the Band. While she was on the tour with Danny Kane, when she wasn't making the money that they was hoping that they was gonna make. But then when Aubrey and Sandy got together to come out with their Blonde group, And they wanted to release some music for they sold the stuff down. We using all that. No, we can't do this and that because of stuff that happened in the past and this, that, and da da da. We need to stick to the stuff with the group and then we'll be done. Y'all can go and pursue that, make music with that, but we need to show unity. But as soon as she found out that Didi was doing another season of Bank of the Bean, she ran to him. And when they did the so on her off days from doing shows with them, she was over there running the Diddy. She was making a beat and then tell her, and then we'll go back to her group member and be like, oh, well, I'm doing it for the group. I'm doing this opportunity for the group. No, you were doing that because you were trying to get the bag for yourself. Just like, understand the whole thing with Hurricane Katrina. Because Single Lord talked about how when Hurricane Katrina happened, he had to move his family in. He had to pretty much had to take care of his whole family because they lost everything. So he had to go and tour, had to go and do music, do features on anybody that could afford his fee, and even had to go behind Herb back and drop music to radio in order for his next album to come out so he can get to the bag because taking care of his family was draining his pocket. So I understand it, but you had a little bit of money. You could have used that money and you could have released the album independently and hired your own team. But no, what did you do? You went back and you ran to Diddy. And you gotta realize we all know Diddy is not a good human being. We all know that. Because even when I was little, I always said there was something about Diddy I did not like or trust. And I was like the rumors that we heard about Diddy, we already knew it. But I'm like, but you don't realize you helped his team out because they're like, if he believed this person bad as you say he is, then why did you go back not once but twice and then bed him to work with you again? Because I understand that when you did, he let you record music in his studio or whatever, and whatever leftover tracks she didn't use, he used it for that Diddy Dirty album. But at the same time, look at Tia Marie. Tia Marie talked about how much she was dropped from Rockefeller Records. She was almost done recording her second album, and all that music that she recorded with them, she had to leave behind. I mean, how would Brandy was signed to Epic Record, and when she lost her, when she asked them to let her out of her contract because they were having creative differences and over which sound and direction she would go on her career, she asked to get let out of her contract. And when she left, she had to leave a lot of the music that she was working on behind, which is how Jennifer Lopez got Ride or Die and Loop Tons. Because she couldn't take it with her when she was left out of her contract. She could have bought it back, but but it can be expensive buying it. So she had to leave all that behind. So if I was you, I would have been like, you know what, dude, as much as I want to keep these songs to myself, as much as I want to have these songs to myself, I would have been like, you know what, dude, you can have them workers. I'm a songwriter. I can always make more. I can always make songs similar to the songs I had wrote over there. I can redo it again if I had to. I'm a songwriter at heart. If I gotta do it again, I'll do it again. Just if you use my music that I had wrote for your album, like that Diddy Dirty album and his last album he did under Diddy Love or whatever he was calling his I would like to give me my proper portion and songwriter credit for the parts that I wrote, and you can keep it. I don't even care. But yeah, she always been that type that seemed like to me she would do anything just to get ahead. Because even when Q was talking about the stuff that she allegedly did, I was like, I believe him. I believe him. Because Dunn really is an opportunist. She really is. She goes where she thinks the money is going to go. She goes where she thinks it's going in like her pocket. Cause think about it. She was like, oh, I'm addicted to Diddy, this and that, and da da da. Cause he bought me out of my country. He did this and that for me, da da da. But then as soon as you found out that he paid but cash you 20 million, and then the hotel settled for her for another 10 million. All of a sudden the lawsuits came and did it this, that, the bad person. Do I think she's a victim? Yes, I think she's a victim. But at the same time, I don't think she is innocent as she try to portray too, because I think she done had her hand side into some weird stuff too. Definitely considering what Q said in the Aubrey broadcast. If y'all ain't watched it, y'all need to go watch that Aubrey broadcast. Later on this week, I'm gonna do, if I don't forget, a video about Diddy and Fake Devin not being as close as people think they are. And then I'm gonna do my final take, hopefully this week or next week, about if I think he gonna do jail time or not. But I gotta get back to my life. Talk to y'all later.